Over the past couple of decades, a recurring question that I hear from people is, what are the differences between managers and leaders? And I don't believe there's a really hard and fast line that completely distinguishes the two, but I do feel that the data, the results, give us an interesting place to jump off of to take a look at ourselves. So let's dig deeper into this. Hello friends, I'm Alex Lyon and this is Communication Coach. I'm here to help you increase your impact and lead your teams to higher levels of excellence. And today's topic is the difference and similarities between managers and leaders. And I've been asked this question a lot, and what I did was I looked at various sources online, and I've done a lot of reading over the years on my own, in addition to a book I wrote on leadership. And what I did is I came up with a little comparison of all the things that are out there, looking at different categories, and I boiled it down to some basic categories that show what I feel are pretty clear differences between managers and leaders. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. But the first point I want to make is clear. In most of the readings that you'll see, in most of the people that you talk to, they will tell you that there's no such thing as 100% manager and 100% leader, because we all have to do a little bit of the other. The other thing they'll tell you is that managers are clearly in a managerial position, whereas leaders can lead from anywhere. You can actually be in just an individual contributor role and you don't have a managerial position of any kind, but you can lead by example and you can put a lot of influence into your team and actually push them forward in a way that maybe even the official manager of that team is not doing. So you can lead from any position. It's a little bit like that movie Ratatouille. A leader can come from anywhere, whereas a manager is usually tied to an official position. So let's now dig down into some of the results here and take a look at what the overall categories were that I distilled from everything I read. And by the way, I'm going to put links to all those things in this description below so you can dig deeper into those sources if you would like to. So let's look at managers first. First of all, managers have a more of a control mindset. They're focused on the administration of processes and the structure and the resources of the organization. They're very much into maintaining the status quo, so maintenance is a key part of what they do, and they're very task focused. So overall, managers are working on the day-to-day tasks and making sure that everything gets done in an orderly fashion. Leaders, however, are a little bit different. Leaders have a more persuasive approach to communication rather than controlling. Leaders are focused on taking the organization from here to there. That's a name of a video series by Bill Hybels, a great leadership author. He talks about going from A to B. A leader is different from anybody else because they want to take people from here to there in its basic form. That's one of the main ways he sees leadership. Leaders also are known for taking risks. Instead of maintaining the status quo and keeping things steady, they are trying to stretch the organization past what it's currently doing, and that involves taking risks. Leaders are also much more people-focused and relationship-focused. They do more mentoring, more coaching, more teaching. So one of the key differences here is really the whole reason I came up with this channel, Communication Coach, and that is that I give a lot of communication tips and leadership tips because I think the two things are completely intertwined. So if you notice on the leadership side of the equation, persuasive communication, taking us from here to there, which is a lot about casting a vision and getting people excited about the future, as well as people-focused approach. Those three out of the list are all communication-centric. You have to have great, sophisticated communication skills to do those leadership functions well. Not so much with this idea of taking risks. I think that has a little bit more to do with the person's disposition and wanting to take risks and wanting to push the envelope a little bit. Now, managers on the other side of the coin certainly have a lot of important communication functions, but on this channel we focus more on the leadership side of the equation. As I said earlier though, both of these sides of the coin are important. You have to be a good manager as well as a leader nowadays, especially if you're in any kind of small business or team setting. You're going to do a little bit of both. One of the things people do, however, is as budget allows and as their organization grows, they will hire people in the area where they are not as strong. Many well-known visionary type leaders, for example, will hire really good task-oriented managers to balance out that team. So here's my question, and I'd love to hear your comments in this section below. Question of the day: what are the areas of leadership that you most want to develop? You can look at the 4 things that I already mentioned, or you can come up with something else. What are the areas that you want to grow as a leader? I read almost every single question and respond to almost every single comment, so I look forward to starting a conversation in that section below. So thanks, God bless, and until next time, I hope you get to use the tips on this channel at your very next opportunity.